Hello everybody, this is Hop to the Hippity Hop bringing you another StarCraft 2 commentary, and this is going to be a very high level play. And for those of you who don't know who Whitera is, originally known as Whitera, he is the Ukrainian beast, as a lot of people like to call him. He's won tons of tournaments, I think three Zotac Cups, as well as playing a lot of Korean players and beating them as well. So just note that Whitera, now changing to Whitera, and the reasoning behind that is because his sponsor's name apparently is Duckload. It's very nice of him. And a little history, Whitera is actually, he's married and he has kids, but he is still a pro gamer, so that is totally awesome. It looks like we're going to be spawning here on Lost Temple, and Vortix is going to be spawning in pretty close positions with Whitera. I'm going to call him Whitera just because that's his original name and I don't know how to call him. I can't really call him Duckload. It's very difficult. So we're just going to be calling him Whitera. And this is going to be a ZVP. I haven't seen this game at all yet. So yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be good. I saw it at the place where I do download my replays. I got pretty decent ratings, so I'm hoping it's going to be a good game. So let's bring up the production tab. Just to see if anything funky is going on. No, nothing too much. Looks like they're just going to be scouting around a little bit. Vortix, I think, does know the location of where Whitera is. Let's see. No, he doesn't actually. He actually moved his overlord, his first overlord, in the other direction, which is kind of strange because you usually want to bring that overlord right here to see if your opponent is in close positions, and you can spot that very easily without your opponent seeing. You just bring the overlord in and back out as soon as that overlord does come in. But it looks like it won't really matter. Duckload is going to be able to see that. If I'm not mistaken, I think that was a 14 pool, 14 hatch. That's what I think. That's pretty standard, nothing too crazy. That's the standard nowadays, apparently. I have been seeing a lot of pro level gamers doing that recently, getting that early pool to deal with any early aggression, as well as getting a queen out early. So that's kind of nice. You will be getting that speed a little bit later than usual, though. Not on time. And oh, the probe Duckload gonna be as annoying as possible. Sorry, Whitera. It's gonna be really confusing. Whitera, of course, coming in with that probe, harassing these drones. That is what Whitera does best. He is very annoying with that. Looks like a couple zealots, or just a single zealot, is gonna be coming out to do a bit of harass. But I think Vortix is gonna be just fine. I really don't know Vortix too much, but apparently this game was played on the ladder, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not. But it looks like Whitera is going to be going for that crucial warp gate technology, which you really do need, and Vortix is just barely going to get a drone in here to scout. I don't know. Yeah, he did see. Whitera was actually chrono boosting out that zealot, or that stalker. So early stalkers are very annoying on this map. You really want to engage your Zerglings on the creep, because if that stalker does, because stalkers do outrun these Zerglings that do not have speed yet, and the speed is just coming up now. So yeah, Whitera getting a sentry as well, so just getting pretty much everything, the top three in the gateways. The second gateway is coming up as well. And yeah, from the looks of it, nothing too crazy. Looks like a stalker is coming in and do a bit of harass, but I think Vortix is going to be just fine. Whitera is going to be forced to back out of there. And almost picking up this overlord, but he's going to be on top of the cliff. He's going to be just fine. Looks like Vortix is looking for any early expansion, I guess. Maybe he's going to be swinging in his overlord around to the back to see if there's an expansion. This is actually a pretty good spot to have your overlord, because you can actually spot when units are going to be coming out. Oh, and the stalker might get surrounded. Oh, speed is not quite up. I think, yeah, oh, this is very close. So Duckload is going to be bringing his sentry in here to somehow help. Maybe force field. This is very close. I think Duckload's gonna be fine. He actually saved that stalker, so very nice micro. And even getting that probe out. So, man, Whitera just being very, very sneaky, having very good micro. Very nice. So that probe is actually gonna be able to scout as well. And it looks like Vortix is not even gonna try to deny that scout. He is bringing a queen out to drop a creep tumor. But this probe is just really going to come in and see everything that's going on. He's going to see the Roach Warren, which is very standard. And so far, yeah, nothing too crazy. It looks like Whitera is going for that expansion right now as well. That's a very good thing to get. And now speed is finally up. for the Zerglings. So far, looks like a very standard game. We don't see any crazy Stargates going out. We do see a couple of roaches as well as a bunch of Zerglings coming out. So maybe Vortix is preparing for some kind of attack. Let's look at the Harvester tab to see who is ahead. And wow, this is not a good thing to see, especially for the Zerg player. You don't want to see this much of a gap in Harvesters. Duckload, or Whitera, sorry. Whitera has been doing a really good job macroing up, getting a bunch of probes. He has been chrono boosting, I assume. But looks like Vortix is going for some early aggression. Nice force field. Very nice force field. But a few Zerglings are going to come in and pick off maybe a sentry or two. Zergling does get picked off. But yeah, nice force field. Completely blocking off the front. Vortix is going to be forced to push back. I don't think he's going to be able to deal with this. He does have a pretty big number of stalkers. So nice little attack here. But that didn't do too much damage. Actually, that was a nice attack for Vortix, allowing him to create a lot more drones and catch up in the economy. And as you can see, Zerg macro is going to be kicking in. Looks like Vortix is going to be going for that hatchery, or not hatchery, that layer as well now. As well as getting a double gas, so we're probably going to see a nice transition into Hydras. Because that is the one unit you do want to get against Protoss. These Hydralisks do so much DPS to any gateway units. Looks like Whitera is just going for a bunch of sentries as well as stalkers. Not too many zealots in the mix from the looks of it. But we'll see. And oh, actually, Vortix having an Overlord here to see if there's any secret ninja expansion. Pretty smart move. Nice standard timing, breaking down the rocks to get that third gold expansion. So it looks like Vortix is going to be in pretty good shape here. And wow, Whitera is just really, really good at macro. I would say he macros like a Zerg player, really. He should totally switch his race. But no, not really. And yeah, looks like Vortix is going to be going for the ventral sacks as well as speed to be doing some drop play inside the Protoss base, which surprisingly is somewhat of a standard thing to do, just because it's so difficult to break down the Protoss front. But yeah, so far Whitera hasn't really built a wall, but usually you build a forge as well as some cannons in the back of your buildings, and it's just so difficult to break that front, especially with the Protoss army in the front. So you want to like drop in the back of the base. That's a pretty good tactic to do. And actually, yeah, I don't see a Hydra Den just yet. Probably not going for Hydras. Maybe he's just going for a pure drop. Looks like +1 upgrades are coming up, and Whitera doing that perfect timing, moving out as soon as that upgrade is going to be done, as well as getting immortals for those roaches. So this could be a pretty deadly push. Observer is now out for Whitera, so he can see exactly what's going on. And I think he's going to be pretty happy with what he sees. Just mass roach and no Hydra. Excuse me. And yeah, maybe Whitera is not really planning to move out. We'll just take a look. Looks like he actually needs to take down this pylon because this immortal did get stuck. And you want every immortal you can get in this army mix-up, just because immortals do so much damage against roaches. Wow, that is a lot of Zerglings and roaches. Looks like a drop is going to be incoming. And is Whitera ready for this? He does have pylons on the outside of the base to spot this. And here they come, the doom drop of death. Vortix coming in. And will Whitera move in on time? Yep, he is going to be moving his forces up. And a bunch of Zerglings and roaches are going to be coming down to rain hell on this Protoss army. And this Protoss base, I'm saying. Nice Guardian Shield, going to be preventing a lot of damage. Nice Force Field, cutting off a bunch of the roaches. All these roaches in the front are possibly going to be going down, as well as spreading the creep. Nice job by Vortix there. But I think Whitera is going to be just fine. That drop really did nothing. Took out one pylon, as well as killed off a lot of probes. I didn't see that actually. Splitting up his roaches to do as much damage as he can to the economy. So as you see on the Harvester tab, yeah, actually that didn't do too much damage. In fact, that didn't bring Whitera down at all. He only lost a couple of units, or actually a handful of units. Man, I'm just wrong in every sense of the word. But these roaches are going to be going down. They are going to be picking off a bunch of probes as well. It's a nice play there. That drop actually did not a significant amount of damage, but it did a bit of damage. But as you saw, looks like Whitera is going to be going for Void Rays. And really, there isn't too much air defense. Now the Hydra Den is out, so looks like Vortix is going to be just fine. I'm pretty sure he actually did spot that Stargate, if I'm not mistaken. So he knew about that coming into that drop. And Vortix is going to be just getting that third expansion. Whitera really hasn't opted to break down the rocks yet, but instead he's going to be deciding to move out. And we'll see if Vortix really has enough for this. He needs to be careful of these overlords just kind of placed out in the open. I think yeah, Vortix should be fine. He does have a Hydras coming out to take care of these Void Rays. Oh, Whitera has to be careful. He's going to lose this Void Ray. I think he's going to be fine. Yeah, and a big skirmish coming on in the front. Looks like Vortix is going to have enough. He's going to be picking off that Immortal. That's what you want to kill. That's what you want to focus fire when you're going against Protoss, because they do so much damage to the roaches. And nice micro here coming in. Going to be cleaning up these Stalkers. But as you can see, it wasn't too... we don't have a definite winner in that fight. Vortix did win, but as you can see, Whitera did have reinforcements coming in as well. But from the looks of it, yeah, both players are pretty even. Looks like a standard timing for that Robotics Bay coming up as well, to see those Colossi. And we don't see a second Robotics Bay, a second Robo facility coming up just yet to produce 2 Colossi. It looks like Whitera is going to be breaking down the rocks. And another drop is incoming, so Whitera is going to be forced to move back. This could do a lot of damage if his army is not in place. Now morphing in a bunch of Stalkers and Zealots, but a lot of Hydras and Roaches are going to be in this mix. Going to be doing quite a bit of damage, actually. Whitera is in a bit of trouble here. He has to be careful of this Immortal to not lose it, because they do so much damage to those Roaches. And just watch, now there are 2 Immortals, so I think Whitera is going to be fine. He's going to be able to hold this off just fine. Oh, 1 Immortal does go down, though. And actually, Whitera is going to GG. I didn't notice he had such few forces, actually. Wow. Yeah, I think this third gold expansion was so crucial in Vortix's production capabilities, because he was just able to macro up such a huge army. Not that big of an army, but do these clever drops that did catch Whitera actually off guard when he was going for that third expansion. So nice continuous harass by Vortix to actually cost Whitera the game. I thought he was going to be fine with those Immortals, but I guess it wasn't enough. Just wasn't enough in the end, and he wasn't able to get those Colossi out in time as well. And that was a pretty short game, but yeah, guys, that is going to be it. Whitera loses to Vortix, an unnamed random Zerg player, but you know what? All kinds of things can happen on the ladder, and Whitera did end up losing. Fun game nonetheless. Nice drop play. Nice to see some drop play. You don't see that too often, but it is somewhat standard in Protoss vs. Zerg. So, fun game to watch. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is Hop StarCraft, and I am going to be hopping off. See you guys.